What's up, Mullinaires? Who remembers this video?
Believe me when I tell you this. There's companies out there that got, $5 billion market caps, $6 billion market caps, and don't have two factories, don't have product, don't have the history we have, and the history that Bollinger has. And we have a portfolio of IP that'll blow your mind, and so does Bollinger. And we just acquired a bunch of IP from Elms. So think about that. Just put it in perspective. If you want to just value this on intellectual property, or you want to value it on GAAP, what was paid for it. I mean, I'm not telling people, how to do your due diligence. I'm just telling them that typically, if it were me, I would look at the value being predicated on what someone was willing to pay for something, and we paid for these combined assets $200 and call it $50 million. How the hell do you have a market cap less than what you spent? Plus, that doesn't include Muln, right? So, hey, I know the stock is undervalued. That's okay by me. The same way it's undervalued, we can turn around one day, hopefully in the very near future, and we have, a Goliath market cap predicated on fundamentals.
David Mishry knows that this stock is very much oversold and undervalued. He's talking about turning the stock price around in the very near future based off fundamentals. And this video came out December of last year, not too long ago. And shout out to Anthony Nash for sharing that with us when it first came out. Now, I've been a little critical on David Mishry as far as the actions of the company as well as the inactions of the company lately, and yet the stock continues to decline. And I don't think I'm by myself on that. And even though Mullen is in the trenches right now, I still believe that what they call Slick Salim has something up his sleeves for the short sellers. He's already acknowledged that the stock is very much undervalued, as well as acknowledged there is manipulation within the stock based off of the first petition initially started by Dwayne Thomas. David Mishry did sign that petition as well as donate $1,000. So he did not completely ignore that petition, and he's still acknowledging that there's manipulation within the stock. Now, one thing I think will be very impactful coming from the company that will help increase the share price, besides production, besides solid deliveries, I'm talking about a share repurchase program to buy back shares while the stock is extremely oversold. And now some may ask, how could they possibly buy back shares when the company is constantly diluting to raise cash? Well, they're gonna raise cash when they're diluting. And as of February 2023, Mullen has $87 million worth of cash and cash equivalents, including restricted cash. And Mullen expects to receive an additional $110 million from firm commitments, which I previously covered in my last video, most likely coming from Aquitas, but that will still be additional cash that could be used to buy back shares. And we also know that Mullen Automotive has spent a grip on employee funds. I think it was around $40-something million in paying employees. So they should be pretty much out the way. A share repurchase is a transaction whereby a company buys back its own shares from the marketplace. A company might buy back its shares because management considers them undervalued. The company buys shares directly from the market or offers its shareholders the option of tendering their shares directly to the company at a fixed price. Repurchases reduce the number of outstanding shares, which is something that investors often feel will drive up share prices. This assumes demand for the shares will not be diminished by the action. Because a share repurchase reduces the number of shares outstanding, it increases earnings per share. A higher earnings per share elevates the market value of remaining shares. After repurchase, the shares are canceled or held as treasury shares, so they are no longer held publicly and are not outstanding. A share repurchase impacts a company's financial statements in various ways. A share repurchase reduces a company's available cash, which is then reflected on the balance sheet as a reduction by the amount of the company has spent on the buyback. The pros and cons of a share repurchase. The pros: shows the company believes its shares are undervalued, increases share value because it reduces number of shares, and makes stock more attractive to potential investors. Now, the cons: can be ill-timed. The reason why they say that is because you want to do it when the market is on an upswing. Right now, there's a lot of turmoil still in the market because of banks collapsing and all those liquidity issues still going on in the market. It may lead to drop in price, which means company isn't healthy. Something to keep in mind as well. Market may believe the company doesn't have growth opportunities. And finally, can create challenges during economic downturn. Now, I also searched share repurchase program and looked at the news, the latest news. There's quite a bit of share repurchase programs going in effect as of now in 2023 with a lot of different companies. And it makes me think that there's a lot of stocks out there that are very much undervalued from the downturns of the market coming out of 2022. And in my opinion, this would be a strategic move for Muln Automotive to follow suit on this process to boost the stock price. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just letting you guys know my thoughts and opinions. So let me know you all's thoughts on this information, and if it's even possible, like to hear your feedback on it. That's all I got for this one. Hope y'all find this information valuable. Stay charged up out there. Don't feed the fear, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm gone. Go.